My fellow Africans, South Africa and the rest of the continent, and the rest of the world, how are you doing tonight? Well, Africa is in a state of crisis. We are in a state of confusion. People are angry, people are killing each other like it's a whole mess. Oh, I forgot something. Sorry, let's start again. Says our one and only president. I love him so much. Big ups to you, sir. Welcome to the Miracle Perspective, everybody. Before we go far, I need you to subscribe, please. Have you subscribed? Thank you. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about something very, very sensitive and important for this current time, which is xenophobia and gender-based violence. We have seen over the past few weeks that in South Africa there's been a whole lot of chaos. People are killing each other. And I do not have a particular opinion when it comes to that. But one thing I know is that there needs to be something that needs to be done. And I decided to get someone who's going to help me explore on what's happening. And the person that I got is the right person in my opinion, because first of all, she's female. And they are the ones that are mostly affected by the gender-based violence. And it would be very unwise for me to come here and talk about what the females are going through while I don't know. So I decided to get someone to help me with that. And as a matter of fact, and something that I should come up front with is that I am against any type of xenophobic attacks. Reason being, I'm wearing a shirt which was given to me by a brother of mine from Nigeria. And I appreciate you so much, Mr. Eliojo. I love this. Representing Africa. So we are one at the end of the day. But I want us to talk about gender-based violence. And the person that's going to help us with that right now is Pheladi. Stay tuned. As promised, I deliver. Yes, Pheladi. Pheladi, welcome to the Miracle Perspective.
Thank you so much for having me, Miracle.
Yes. Guys, Pheladi has been all over the world doing very, very phenomenal and big stuff. She's been to the United States, she's been to Germany, she's been to Russia, she's been to Malawi, she's been to Mozambique, she's been to Limpopo. she's been moving. Like, she's everywhere on the University of Pretoria website. She's one of the people that the university is so proud of. And I'm also proud of her because I've known her since 2012.
Yeah.
So you see, when you're associated with the right people, you also feel like So guys, I'm here with Pheladi and I'm talking about the issue of gender-based violence. And before we started this, she just gave me like a strong lesson to say that gender-based violence doesn't mean what I thought it meant. So Pheladi, please, can you just, before we go deep into understanding how as women are you affected particularly by this situation that we are in, I want you to just explore on what is gender-based violence. When we talk about gender-based violence, what are we talking about?
Okay, thank you, Miracle. Firstly, what I was correcting you on was the fact that people tend to associate gender-based violence as violence against women. It's violence against a particular sex. So men can be victims of gender-based violence, either from women or from other men. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why we focus on women in South Africa in particular is because that the prevalence of gender-based violence against women in South Africa is very high. And the femicide rate and the sexual assault rate and the rape rate in South Africa against women and children are particularly high. And hence, our stance is that gender-based violence against women and children in South Africa is very high.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, I knew that, yes, that what you're talking about is very high. But the difference in the gender-based violence term, the term per se. But now I just want you to say, I see you're wearing a feminism shirt.
Yes.
What is feminism? What does it mean?
Okay, so let me this basically sums out what feminism means. My shirt says, feminism, the radical notion that women are people, right? It just essentially means that I hate the term, or rather, I dislike the term where I dislike the term where people often associate all of these things that are happening to people, women and children, and like, think about it if it was your sister, think about it if it was your mother, think about it if it was, a female that is associated to you. But people don't think about it in terms of think about it that it's a person. You get what I'm saying? Forget the association the person has to you just because they are a human being and they are living and you are attacking them. Those are the notions. So it's just about treating women as human beings, the way that you want to be treated. That's just it. That's feminism in a nutshell.
Yo! Should we finish? What? No, that's profound. You see, I think that's where the problems begin, because we don't. Most of men out there, we associate women based on our particular association.
Yeah, the association that you have with them. But if you think of it from a broad perspective, like, I'm a person, I'm a human being, I'm on this earth as much as you are.
So now tell me, what's your feeling about what's happening?
My heart is particularly heavy over the whole gender-based violence problem that we have in South Africa, and the prevalence of it, and the lackluster of the government or public figures to actually stand up for it. It disheartens a woman like me in South Africa who goes by almost every day thinking about, it's even sort of an unconscious thing that you have to get used to. You get what I'm saying? Like, as a person, over the last few years, I've begun to unlearn a lot of things that I've unconsciously learned to deal with the harassment that you face. I'll give you an example. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, I walk looking down when I walk around the street, especially like in town. So I face down because for some reason, if you get a glance of a guy in their eyes, especially if they like want you or something, I feel like you're married essentially. Like,
why?
No, because the glance means that they have an invitation to talk to you.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
So you go that deep to marriage?
It's a joke.
Okay. All right. It's a joke.
It's a joke. What I'm saying is that it's so real that you have a defense mechanism of looking down, because if I look at you in the eye, you see it as an invitation for you to talk to me, Miracle. You see me walking down the road, I'm minding my business, right?
Yeah.
And if you say, hey, Sissy, I don't respond, you hear that I'm not responding, right? If I look at you in the eye, you're like, got her. No, yeah. That's an invitation. That's an invitation to talk to her.
And a lot of guys say that. We associate the way a girl looks at you. Like, she looked at me, she wants me.
Yeah. Okay. Like, so if I don't look at
she doesn't want you, Baba.
If I don't look at you, Miracle, and if I just walk away, and like Kukasi, like what we usually experience is that if you don't say anything, they start calling you names, right?
Yeah.
In other places, like that corner when you're just like, oh my gosh, like I am about to die, type of thing, because it feels so real. It's something that you joke about, but what it actually feels like, it's a terrible feeling, because you're like, if you don't greet, you're going to be subjugated to other forms of harassment.
So basically, as women, you tend to not feel like you're part of this system where people exist by the way we interact with you guys.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's like we're object of like your affection, or I don't know, or it's like we are ligaments to who you are, and we're not like full-bodied individuals who have their own.
So Pheladi, please tell me, what is your message to guys in particular regarding this? What would you say if you were given an opportunity to talk to the men about what's happening? What is it that you want to say to the guys?
Two things. The first one is that I think men tend to act like we don't know who are perpetrators of sexual violence and, the things that happen. You know them. You know who they are. You've seen the way that they act. You hear them talk and you hear the way that they talk about women. And for some reason, it's okay. Like, men just tend to think that because they don't do it, it's not their problem. That's the problem. That's the problem that I have. So
what should they do?
You should call people out. Call people out for their shitty behavior. Like, for example, there was, I like to speak about my experiences because that's where I draw, I can't speak about other people. Yeah, anybody else. My story is my story. In the club, if you go out, right, and a guy is like drunk, their friends will actually try and, like, if a guy comes up to and gropes me, the friend comes and gropes me, the other guys will be like, no, he's drunk. Like, if you see that your friend is drunk, why aren't you taking him home? Because you know that your friend is the type of drunkard that gropes women in the club, and that's not okay. So you must call your friends out. If they say something that sounds a bit rapey or sounds a bit offish and sounds misogynistic, you should call them out, because we act like, I think men tend to act like it's an other problem. Yeah, it's like there's like a group of men, and probably there is a group of men, but it's not like you don't know them, right? So that's the first step to actually try and protect women, right?
So Pheladi, I hear you. So tell me about what should women do now, like in this case?
It's not our problem. Like, I hate the narrative that if people make, like, women are supposed to do something. We are not supposed to do something. We are not the perpetrators. These are things that are happening to us, not by us.
What I'm saying is, it was not as out there as it is right now because women were not talking about it. But now there's more women who are coming out speaking about this. Then we know. That's what I'm coming from that perspective of saying, what are the women supposed to do? Should they speak out more? Should they go loud about it? What should they do to actually make this known to the men and to other women? Because it's not like it's women who are subjected to this. There's many women who are subjected to this, but some don't have the strength to just go out and speak.
I like how you say that some women don't have strength. The problem is that you can't force someone to rehash their trauma. You get what I'm saying? It sounds very noble to say that you must speak out, you must tell people, you must go to the police station, you must do all of these things. You get what I'm saying? But it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. Like, I'm pretty sure if you sit with all the women in your life and you ask them, like, has anything that has actually made you feel uncomfortable in terms of what a male figure has done in your life? We all have the stories. Can you imagine all of us coming out and be like, oh, there was this. It's emotionally exhausting. So the truth is, yes, we should advocate for women to come out to speak their truth as much as they want. But then systems should be in place that when those women come out, they are not subjugated to rejection. For example, there was the Santon shutdown yesterday. That was yesterday, and most of the women spoke about how even police officers, like when women go to report rape, they will report rape this week and then next week someone comes out on bail because somebody has somebody within the system and they just somehow, the file disappears and all of that, because even if for the number of women that do come out, we need to look at what actually happens afterwards, because that also does something to the female psyche, saying that I have voiced out what has happened to me, but it feels like I'm not being heard. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So basically, your concern or your attention is more focused on the men.
Yes, the men and the system. Yes.
Something should be done.
Something should be done there. Like, we should not focus on the woman. It is not our duty. It is not our role, because it's not something that we are not the actors in this scenarios that are happening to us. Yes.
Guys, there you have it. Come up with what you want to come up with. It's a difficult and sensitive topic to talk about, as I said, but at least it's out there. I think what we can do is to talk about it. At least that's the first step we can take. The more we talk about this, the more we make men realize that there's something they're doing wrong, and we make the system realize, whoever the system is, they will now realize that actually something needs to be done. And I'm happy that our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has come out and he said there's something that is going to be done. Hopefully there is something that's going to be done. But thank you so much, Pheladi, for coming today. I appreciate you coming. I know you're a busy woman, and I heard you are going out, you're flying out again. So go well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
She has masters, like she's big, people. But otherwise, thank you so much. It's finished. Please remember to subscribe. Here again. It's finished. Boom!